Hey everybody, welcome to your Hatha Yoga practice, and I want to give a special welcome to our members that are watching live at theyogamat.com and to anybody that's practicing a little bit later on the YouTube channel. So go ahead and come onto your mat and we'll get started. All right, just come to a comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit on a block, but if you've got a bolster you want to use, or if you just want to sit cross-legs or you want to sit on your heels on your mat, you can. We're going to get started with just a little gentle neck stretch. So just try to relax this right arm, let the shoulder drop down, and then you start to bring your left ear toward the left shoulder. And so if this isn't getting into it enough, you can take that left arm behind the back, you can hold your bicep, and then just gently pull that shoulder down a little bit further. And sticking here with the neck, we're just going to start to rotate the chin down toward the chest there on the left side. And again, working on that deep breathing. We'll get that going in and out the nose. And then start to lift your chin toward the ceiling there on the left side. And air rushing against the back of the throat, so it starts to make a little bit of noise here when you get it going. And release. Let's try the other side. So we'll let the left arm get heavy. And if you're sitting cross-legged, just change the leg that's crossed in front. And relax that left shoulder, right ear toward the right side. And again, if you want, you can use that right arm to help. And start to rotate the chin toward the chest there on the right side. Just getting into a little different part of the neck there. And we'll lift the chin toward the ceiling there on the right. And it's release, come back to center. So if you're sitting cross-legs, you want to bring the right shin in front of the left. If you're on your heels, just stay right where you are. Right hand to the side, lift the left arm up. And as you exhale, we'll reach it over to the side. So I like staying on fingertips here with the right hand, but if you want to bring your palm to the floor, maybe you want to drop that forearm down to your mat, you can. So it's a little bit easier to stay grounded if you're on a block or you're sitting on your heels. If you're sitting cross-legs, then you may have to use this right hand. Again, press it into your mat a little bit. You want to keep that left sit bone on your mat. And we'll come back up, change crossing the legs if you're sitting that way, and we'll try the other side. And so you can play around if you've got this arm straight, if you want to arch it a little bit, if you want to bend that elbow a whole lot, you can just let the head rest, your arm rest on the top of the head. And just a little bit of change there in the arm can alter where you're getting that stretch in the side. And we'll come back up, change the cross on the legs one more time. And if you're sitting on your heels, we're going to come to cross legs as well. So right shin in front of the left. And start to walk the hands forward. Again, you don't have to go very far since we're still not very warmed up yet. But just a gentle awakening there in the hips and not going so far that perhaps it's going to bother your knees. And staying low, just start to walk your hands over to the left. So maybe centering the chest over that left leg. And we'll get another little side body stretch here, reaching the right arm out just a bit further. And we'll come back up and change the cross in the legs. We'll have that left shin in front. And again, just a small forward fold here. And so again, you don't have to go all the way down. You can keep your arms straight, keep your chest lifted. If that's not doing enough for you, you want to fold all the way down, you can. But again, this early on might not be necessary. Now let's take the hands over to the right side. And so right arm can relax just as much as you want it to. The left arm is the one that we want to keep more active. And start to come back up to center. And then you want to take your feet to the floor in front of you. We're going to give just a little warm up here for the shoulders. So reverse tabletop. We usually use a counter pose for forward folds, but it's a real good shoulder opener here. So hands about a foot behind you. Lift the hips up. And drop the head back. So my fingertips are pointing toward the feet. You can turn your hands just a little bit out to the side if that causes any pinching in the shoulders. Try to squeeze the glutes, lift up just a hair higher. And as you exhale, lower yourself back down. From here, come into a tabletop. So when you get in table, shoulders above your wrist, hips roughly over top of the knees. Let's take a few rounds here of cat and cow as we continue warming up. Take a breath in, look up, and exhale, rounding over. And again, inhale, let the belly relax. Exhale, arching your back and drawing your navel in. Just a couple more here. Inhale and exhale. And do one more round, look up. And rounding over. And we'll come back to neutral. Step your feet forward between your hands, take ragdoll. So coming up here to the top of the mat, got the feet about hip width apart, and we're just gonna sway the hips side to side a few times. Bend one knee, bend the other. Arms can hang down, they can touch the floor. You can hold your elbows if you'd rather. And we'll shake the head yes, shake it no. And then take your time, slowly start to roll yourself up to standing. And bring your feet together, hands to center. We're going to go through just a few sun salutation A's. And then we'll move into our standing portion. So let's take one deep breath in. And exhale, relax the arms. With your next inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands reaching down. And take your hands to your shins, look up, inhale. As you exhale, plant the hands to the top of the mat, step to a high push-up. Hugging your elbows to your side, lower down, hover. Inhale, upward facing, roll to the tops of the feet. And then take it back over the toes, downward dog. So when you move to downward dog, we want to try to keep the hands there at the top of the mat. And then if you feel like you have to adjust the length, do so with your feet. And got about the feet about hip width to get started. Taking a little wider if that doesn't feel right to you. And then we'll just bend one knee, bend the other. Go back and forth here a few times. And take just a couple more rounds. And start to reach both heels down. And as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step the feet up between the hands. And hands back to the shins, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back up. And exhale to center. And just a couple more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold down. Hands to your shins, lengthen. Exhale, step to plank. And lower down again, looking out in front. Upward dog, lift the thighs off of your mat. Downward facing, exhale. Again, so we're moving around a little bit more here through the sun salutations. You want to try to get your breath and your movements to match. And then work on getting the inhales and exhales even as well. And trying to press the floor a little bit further away. Reaching the heels closer down toward the floor. just so you get that deeper stretch there at the back of the legs. And bend the knees, look forward, step the feet up. Hands to shins, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, back to center. And one more of those on your own. So when you get to downward dog, just hold there for 5 breaths. Then you can finish that sun salutation up, ending back up at the top of the mat. So whenever you're finished, take your hands to center, dropping your gaze to your fingertips. Now let's turn around and face the long edge of the mat. So feet about parallel with edges of the mat, and then open your arms out wide. We'll start with the right leg. We'll turn the right foot away, the left toes pivot in. And looking to that right middle finger, take a breath in here. Then as you exhale, bend your knee. We'll take Warrior B. So just kind of general alignment cues here. They may not work for everybody. Don't have to be quite exact here. Knee over top of ankle. Maybe front thigh getting parallel to the floor. That could be a little bit too deep, and if it is, you can back off of it some. And arms out, look right over to that front middle finger. So if you need to take a shorter distance with the feet, you can. Just watch that the knee doesn't go so far out that it's going out beyond the toes. Now we'll straighten the leg, pivot on the heels, set up here for the other side. So left foot back toward the front of the mat, take a breath in, and exhale, we'll bend that left leg. And then watch as you start to go down a little bit deeper here, that you keep pressing the outer edge of your back foot into your mat. That should give you a little more of a stretch there to that inner thigh. And then the front knee goes toward the outer edge. Just relax the shoulders. And we'll straighten the leg, parallel the feet. Let's change to the other side again. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, bend your right knee, and then reverse your warrior. We'll take that left arm down, reach the right arm up. So when you go to reverse, try to reach the hand toward the ceiling, and then start to arch. And a little bit of a side bend here to the left. Just being mindful of where that right knee is at here when you take reverse warrior. And try to keep the legs the same as you had them in Warrior B. And you can look up to that right hand. You can look up to your elbow. Let's spend one more round of deep breath. Coming back to Warrior B. And we'll straighten the leg, pivot on the heels. And then exhale, bend your left leg, and then reverse it. So if you want, the right arm can go behind the back. If you want to hold on to your left thigh, hold on to your waistband if you want to, or you can just, again, let it graze the right leg. And working on that breath, trying to keep a rhythm going here. Maybe inhaling to a count of 5, exhaling for the same thing. Shorten that up if it's a little too much. And take one more breath in and hold here for the exhale. Inhale back up, warrior B. And we'll straighten the leg, parallel the feet. And then take your hands to center and drop your gaze down to your fingertips. And open your arms. Toe heel the feet in. And then step your feet until they're about, we're going to go just about hip width apart. And then bend into your knees. Come into chair pose. And then from your chair, take your hands to center. Try to go down a little bit further. And then we'll just work this left elbow between the legs. And then from here, again, a little small twist. Look over to the right shoulder. And you can do your palms together, or you can take a fist with your bottom hand. You may want to do that if it bothers the wrist. You could even do straight arm version here as well. So the left hand, and it's just going to go to that space between the feet. With your next exhale, release. We'll come into a standing forward fold. And we'll bend one knee, bend the other. That's relaxing down. And from here, bend the knees again. We'll come back into that same chair pose, reach the arms. And on the exhale, we'll go a little bit deeper. Right arm between the knees. And then coming into your twist on this side. And you can take that straight arm variation there if you want. I'll be here for one more round of breath. As you exhale, release, come back into your standing forward fold. And take your hands to your hips. Inhale, come back up. And step the feet together, hands to your heart. Go ahead and drop back down into a tabletop.
The mic is muted.
And press all the way back into child's pose. So just separate the knees. And take the arms out and relax down. Try to crawl the hands a little further away from you. And take the hands a little bit wider, possibly even going there to the edges of the mat. And come back up into a table. And then end up in seated. So take both legs straight out in front. And flex your feet. If you want to use a belt here for your forward folds, we'll just take that strap and loop it around the feet. Let's take a breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, peace fingers to your big toes, or work with a belt. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. So keep your core active, draw your navel in, relax the shoulders. And just breathing there to the stretch at the back of the legs. So you may want to use the belt in this pose if it starts to bother your back, if it's pulling on it or just doesn't feel right. You can use the belt so you still get the stretch, but you don't have to fold quite so far into it. And if you're at your feet, let's go to B, thumbs in front of the big toes, hands pinky side. Inhale, look up again. exhaling, fold, crown of the head toward the feet. And you can hold your shins if that's too much, or you can again stick with the strap. Last round of breath here. And take a breath in, look up. Exhale, come all the way back up. And we'll keep the left leg out. Take Janu Sirsasana A. The right foot's going to go somewhere along the inside of the leg. Could be your thigh, could be your calf. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, fold forward, reach down toward the foot. Inhale, look up again. Exhale, fold down. If you got a belt close, a block close by, if you have any stress at all in that bent knee, the right one, you can put the block underneath it, give it a little bit of support. And inhale, look up. Exhale, come back up. We'll change the legs around. And inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold down again. Yeah, so let's relax the shoulders down. You can hold your shin if that's too far to grab the foot, or you got that belt close by again. And take another breath in, look up. Exhale, come back up. Soles of the feet together this time. And we'll just let the hands straddle the feet. Take a breath in, lift the chin. And then as you exhale, you can start to crawl the hands a little further forward. So you'd like to get a little stretch here in your back and then to the inner thighs. So if you don't feel it in the inner thighs and you have your feet a little bit further away, try pulling the heels in a bit closer to you. Just try to crawl the hands out a little bit more. And inhale, come back up. Lean back just a little bit and then open the legs out wide. So if you want to turn yourself around so you've got your heels on your mat, you might do that depending on what they're on. You want to take your hands to either side of your hips, lift up a little bit, scoot the sits bones back, and then your hands to the inside of the legs again. Inhale, look up. As you exhale, crawl the hands forward. And you want to start with the legs straight and flexing your quads and your feet. And then if you get in this position and you don't really feel a stretch, you might feel it to the inside of the legs, could be to the back, then try bending the knees. So if you bend the knees, you're probably going to be able to fold a little bit further and then get into that stretch. And inhale, come back up. We'll bring the legs back together. And then lie down on your back. Pull your knees to your chest. We'll just rock side to side a couple times. Good. We'll keep hugging the right knee in. You'll take your left foot to the floor. And then just a half happy baby. So the sole of the right foot parallel to the ceiling. I like to reach my hand to the inside. You don't have to, but if you get it that way, then you can hold your heel and you can use your elbow and just very gently press against the inside of that leg, taking it out a little bit wider. And then when you bypass your chest, you can let that knee drop maybe a little bit closer down toward the floor. And then release, set that right foot down. Let's try the other side, left knee to your chest. Set it for half happy baby on this side. And releasing that one, set the left foot down. Pull both knees to your chest. Take a full happy baby this round. And so again, when you get here, the knees may not drop down as easily as they did when we were doing a single leg. So we'll just try to rock side to side a couple times. Getting a little bit more into the middle of your back than you can rock. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that class. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to get a new short form class every week. And if you like what you see and you want to support me, go become a member at theyogamat.com. You'll get unlimited live virtual classes every week and access to our on-demand library with over 500 classes in it. Have a great day. Namaste.